The Buschy and Bobo Show, a healthy scratch podcast. Here's your hosts, Kyle Busch and Brian Rager.
Welcome back to the Buschy and Bobo Show, episode number 40. That's pretty good. Got two mics today. We are upgrading everything in the studio. I've called it the studio a few times today, and it's crazy. Episode 40.
40 down the hatch,
down the
hill.
hatch.
And
today is July 1st. It's free agency.
Canada Day.
Number 2 is Canada Day.
Yeah, free agency is number 1.
There wouldn't be free agency day but for Canada Day, right?
Twitter's down, or Twitter's now limited.
Twitter is broken. Of course, it's the day where we want to watch TSN and just look through Twitter and look at all the rumors. Yeah, because it's like we're like kids on Christmas, seeing what we're gonna open up. And now, hey, spoiler alert! If you're a Red Wings or a Canucks fan, it's a bunch of fucking shit wrapped up. Bunch of poo. That's okay. That's we're gonna check the microphone's qualities, I guess. But what we wanted to do is just basically kind of recap what's happened, and if there's any that we liked, I guess we can just break them down.
Yeah, as of this time or whatnot. So
now, if you want to go and see, thoughts on, Buschy's thoughts on the Red Wings, check out the Red Wings report. I got a few videos out for, the signings that the Red Wings have made. We'll go through them. They're going to pop up. I might get mad again. I mean, you never know with me. Pretty volatile.
You're just so much anger in you.
I just have so much anger in me. I love Star Wars. It's all about that.
It's all about that.
Go down to this dark side or whatever. Okay, well, let's start. So, we'll go through the ones that actually matter. There's some that who gives a shit.
Some minor league or minor deals.
Red Wings, Gustav Lindstrom. I said I didn't think he'd be back because he was going to Sweden, but he's gone.
Well, he resigns.
Yeah, I know, he's back. He said he was. They said he was leaving. He didn't.
Oh, yeah, so the Canucks would buy him out, and this guy just gets himself a nice $2.25 million one-year contract in Florida, so...
Well, he's getting paid the buyout money plus
this, yeah.
He's only 31, so he'll get another contract after that, but, if you're OEL, you're not what you used to be. Wouldn't you want to go to Florida? You just went to the finals?
Yeah, just went to the finals there. You got help out that blue line.
Yeah.
Keyword help. Well, try to help.
Try to help, I guess. Try not to be a liability. Now, the Hurricanes, and that's something maybe we should do is if you go to the top, you can probably look by team, right?
Let's take a look.
I think you can. If you sort by the team, yeah, there you go. All teams.
Oh, there we go.
Bam. We can go by team. Let's do it. Anaheim. Let's go. All right, Anaheim has had a few interesting ones today. For me, absolute overpayments. But Brian, you want to take this away?
Yeah, I'll start with the first one there. Radko Gudas just came up, just played in the finals there with Florida. Says, you know what? I'm following the money and I'm taking my talents to California. And he's signed that 3-year, $12 million, $4 million a year. I can see the overpay there.
Yeah. Now, when we went through
for a pest.
Yeah. On the Red Wings report, we went through some of the maybe potential guys the Wings could look at, and Gudas was one of them. And I was actually shocked to see that his defensive stat metrics were actually pretty good. So I'm not shocked. But with the Ducks, they're in full rebuild right now with Pat Verbeek as a new GM. He's going into his second year. Now, actually, before we even talk about that, Alex Killorn. Right?
Yeah.
Take that one away. What do we got here?
Well, we got 4 years, $25 million, a 6.25 AAV. That's
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money and a lot of year for a 33-year-old.
And Gudas is 33 as well. So I looking at these two guys. Maybe Pat Verbeek identified that maybe they need some veteran presence in that room, which they don't really have right now.
No, they're a young team, right? So,
and these two guys are both Killorn has won a few cups. Gudas was just the finals, and probably good locker room guys. I would assume they can both grow pretty good beards.
Better
than mine, right? But yeah, hey, that's something where I was like, wow, 6 years. If I kind of look at it 4 years, $6 million. There was a rumor that maybe the Wings and Killorn, and if Yzerman would have signed him to that deal, I would have been like, what the hell is that, right?
You've already had your anger.
I've already had my anger, but I don't even know if we have to really go through the Arizona Coyotes.
No.
Alex Galchenyuk, who cares? I mean, the Bruins haven't really... oh, yeah, they have. That's a lot, actually. Okay. I mean, okay, so the Bruins have done a few things. Let's run through them. JVR, $1 million 1 year. That's a nice signing because Boston has peanuts, right? Morgan Geekie from Seattle, right? 2 years, $2 million per. Lucic is back for a year, $1 million. Shattenkirk 1 year, $1 million. And then there's a bunch of minor leaguers, but you see the what they're trying to do there. They don't really have a lot of cap space, and they have to fill it out, but like pretty good, right, for Boston to like go through there and like get a few of those guys like for super cheap.
Getting them on the low, that's the big thing.
Well, and also not really knowing what's happening with Krejci and Bergeron. Like, there's a rumor Krejci might go back to the Czech.
With the Czech, and then
Bergeron might retire. So like,
I think this is their one last true kick at the can.
This is why I love that the Wings have their pick in 24. And it's protected. So, like, if they're kind of lower and, the protection is actually there, it goes to 2025, where that's where I think they might actually bottom out. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I'll keep that one.
Buffalo, nothing really there.
No? Okay. Calgary nothing. They got Sharon Govich in the Toffoli trade. Now, Carolina did a ton, right? Like, they retained... like 3 of their guys, right? They brought back Fost and then both their goalies, Anderson and Ranta, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, those averages are like pretty decent. They're only paying $5 million for 2 goalies combined, so that's pretty good. I think they got them cheaper than they had them. And then the big swing, in my opinion, was Dmitry Orlov. 2-year deal, which is pretty good, but $7.75 million. Do you think that he was maybe, in my opinion, one of the top guys on the, if not the number one?
He was number one on TSN's on list there, right? So. 2 years, he's going to get another contract after that. And Carolina's another win now team, right? So.
Right. I'm surprised they got him for 2 years. I think what we're seeing, and we didn't see a lot of 6 and 7 year contracts today, if any. And if we see some, maybe we'll point them out. But a lot of 3 years, maybe 4. I don't know if these GMs are really too I don't think they want to give out these big long contracts anymore, unless it's for one of your young players that's 22.
Yeah, you're not going to see those.
You're not going to give Orlov a 7-year deal because it's that's going to be terrible in 3 years, and then you're screwed. Yeah. You've made yourself a 3-year window, right? So now, I mean, if he's still good after a couple of years, you sign him still, right? But it's just it mitigates risk.
And then the other big signing there is, and thank God, Buschy is just.
I was
happier than a pig in shit.
So happy when this actually signed because I was like, okay, good.
First off, I had him. It's Michael Bunting.
You are a pile of crap for what you did to me. Because Twitter's down. I can't see anything. Usually I'm in the know.
My Twitter was going back and forth, so I wasn't at that 600 limit or whatever it is now.
It's going to be the free agency of the Twitter being down.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? This guy tells me to the extent of
Bunting
Bunting
is down to 5
Wings.
teams or whatever. There's Red Wings, Carolina,
and
Nashville.
Right when he said Red Wings, I was like, oh.
Toronto and the Rangers.
I was like, son of a bitch. There's no way. I was furious with him. And
then I broke character there and
I knew right away. I was like, this guy. But Michael Bunting signed somewhere.
Yeah, he did sign. Yeah, Carolina. He's doing a 3-year contract there. He's going to win the Calder.
Yeah,
4.5 per year. That's
an overpay in my opinion
for a guy I think he was better than he is because of the guys he was playing with.
I think he's Advocator. I really do. I've said that countless times. He's just an Advocator. He played with Datsuk and Zetterberg. That's it, right? So Chicago did make some moves, but getting Connor Bedard, which I don't think they really deserve to get him, they did make a few trades at the draft, and they signed a few of these veteran guys in Nick Foligno and Corey Perry, both to 1-year deals, both $4 million. This, what this reeks of to me? Remember when you used to play NHL in the video games?
Trying to create a super teams
No, not even super teams. No, I'm talking complete opposite. I'm talking about you're rebuilding a team, and in the first few years, because you've sold all your players to try to get picks, you're like, oh crap, I have to get to the cap floor, and I just need a guy, and you just overpay some veteran to come play for you. That's exactly what this is. Because Corey Perry making $4 million is more than he made in the last 3 years combined. So, and he didn't do anything to really deserve this, and neither did Nick Foligno. So they're probably like, oh, locker room guys.
Locker room, just to get up to that floor. And
then Ryan Donato, 2 years, $2 million. That's whatever. Colorado, this kind of just happened, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan Drouin had 58 games played and 2 goals, so not a big one for Colorado. Now, a rumored one for Colorado that's not happened yet, and it may by the time we put the pod out, is Miles Wood from the Devils is apparently getting a 6-year deal from Colorado, which I thought was nuts, but we'll see on that one. You got Columbus, nothing really. Dallas made a deal here.
Dallas, yeah, they got the big thing there. The major signing, according to TSN, is Matt Duchene. Just a 1-year, $3 million deal. He had no clue that he was getting bought out, and then here he is by Nashville, becoming a free agent, and then I guess Dallas is the closest thing to Nashville for him. So,
and it's smart, and they were asking Duchene this on the panel, and they were like, well, does the salary cap going up next year have anything to do with it? And I was like, of course it does, because 1 year he's going to cash in. He's only 32. If he has a good year with Dallas, which I would assume he does because they're a good team, then he can cash in for next season, right? Because
absolutely.
Yeah, Matt Duchene's still a good player. It's just his contract was really bad, and I guess Nashville, Barry Trotz really wanted to get out of it because he got rid of Johansson as well.
Yeah.
Man, do I have to go through this? I can.
Don't go in depth since if you want it in depth, you just go watch the Red Wings report.
Exactly. Just go do that, dummies.
You just go click. I would say click right here, but who knows?
It's probably up here.
Yeah,
something like that, or you just go on our channel. It's there. My Red Wings did some stuff. Basically, they signed James Reimer. They signed Justin Hall. I ranted. And they also got Alex Lyon, another goalie, Daniel Sprong, who I like, 21 goals. Haven't really talked about Daniel Sprong yet, but 21 goals for Seattle in a third or fourth line role. It's pretty damn good.
Only 26, too.
Yeah, moving on.
Edmonton.
They basically made one signing there.
Yeah, which is the Connor Brown signing. Played with McDavid back in junior.
It seemed like he was going to go there no matter what, right?
Yeah.
$1 million, $4 million.
1 year, $4 million, yeah.
Now, just before we go, the NBA is also happening right now, and we were talking about the contracts in the NBA versus the NHL. They're not even on the same level.
No.
Who was it that got $260 million? LaMelo
Ball, 5 years, $260 million.
It was 3 years, wasn't it?
Well, I thought it was a 5.
Was it 5? Then it must be 5.
But you look at a guy, even Fred VanVleet, goes to Houston and makes $120 million, $130 million for 3 years.
$230 million is almost $250 million.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Then these guys are like, man, we don't want to overpay. Let's give them $3 million. It's wow.
Yeah, we see a $3 million contract or
are you not selling out the same
contract. It's just oh.
Are you not selling out the same arenas?
Pretty much.
So what are we doing here?
The money's in basketball.
I guess so. Florida Panthers. They signed Dmitry Kulikov, who I'm pretty sure he was there when he was young. And, Denisenko they brought back. He's a restricted free agent. They took a flyer on Mike Riley, who got bought out by Boston, I'm pretty sure. So 1 year, $1 million. We talked about OEL right at the beginning. So
before we found out how we can do this.
Yeah, exactly. Brian can break down the LA Kings for you.
Cam Talbot, 1 year, $1 million.
Nice.
And then just a bunch of bullshit.
Well, Trevor Lewis is he back in LA, or was he always there? Because he won the Cup in 2014. 2012, he was on that team, right? He's 36 now.
Let's look it up.
Trevor Lewis, he went to Calgary. Yeah, so he came back. He's back with the Kings, so there you go.
Minnesota.
Nothing.
Didn't do anything. Montreal Canadiens.
Nothing.
Did nothing.
Yeah,
Gus Nyquist going to...
Nashville did a bunch of stuff. You go all the way down there.
Oh, there we go.
Got a couple ex-Leafs.
Yeah, they picked up the savior, Luke Shen, on a 3-year deal there.
And almost gave him $3 million a year, which
is more than he's made the last couple of years. The guy looked like he was going to be an AHLer for a while.
Yeah, he really did with Vancouver.
Seventh,
7D with Tampa.
Yeah, it's just his career went down, and then look at him now. He's getting
That's probably one of his last contracts. He's going to he'll be 36 by the end of that,
afterwards,
right?
yeah.
He'll probably going to be, I think he's already washed now, but that's just me. Ryan O'Reilly, that's an interesting one. I mean, for the centermen that are out there, he's 32. You give him 4 years, $4.5 million. He fit really well with Toronto, I thought, but he's not that first line guy anymore. And I mean,
right now he would be in Nashville.
Nashville's got nobody right now because Johansson's gone, Duchesne is gone, so they're going full, not even rebuild, but like just
no, because you couldn't even call it a rebuild because you're moving a 32-year-old and you're bringing in
right. So you're just swapping guys out, and then obviously like Gus Nyquist. I mean, it says he's a center. I don't really think he is. He's a winger.
Plays more of the wing.
Yeah, 2 years, $3.2 million. I mean, I always liked Nyquist. I still got his Red Wings jersey somewhere, so I liked Gus. He was a good player.
The Devils, anything big here?
They kind of already made their moves, right? Like Eric Hallgren was like a fourth.
Yeah, they're re-signing Meyer and.
Well, it was Meyer, Bratt. They got Eric Holla back. They've made
brought in Tyler Toffoli.
Exactly, Toffoli. So they made some moves already. So the Devils look like they're pretty primed. Their top six looks pretty nasty. So you got to watch out for them.
Islanders, go ahead.
So they brought back Semyon Varlamov, who I think, in my opinion, is one of the best backups in the league right now. 4-year deal. There's no right now. It doesn't say salary or cap hit, anything like that. Same with Scott Mayfield. They brought him back 7 years. So I mean, Lou Lamoriello just going absolutely bananas. Ilya Sorokin actually signed. We didn't see this one.
Did not see that.
They signed him because he was probably restricted. 8-year deal, 8.25. I mean, he's going to be there till he's 35. They're betting that Sorokin is going to be that guy. And then even Pierre Engvall
got a 7-year deal.
Wow, 7 years, $3 million. Honestly, and I'm not even saying this to be mean, I think Lou Lamoriello knows that he's going to die before these cap hits come off the books, and he doesn't give a shit.
He's out. He's retiring before they come off.
I didn't see any of these Islanders ones.
I didn't either.
Are we looking at the right? Like, this is the rights. Yeah, keep going down. Did you do anything else stupid? Sam Bolduc.
That's
Pierre Engvall, 7 years. Wow, that's unbelievable. What the hell did he do other than wearing a big helmet? Big helmet Pierre. Like, unbelievable. You can break down the Rangers while I try to,
you try to
digest that.
Comprehend that?
Holy crap.
So the big one for them is Blake Wheeler. 1-year deal, $800,000, and then with $300,000 in incentives and whatnot. So 1.1 there.
I'm getting bought out by the Jets, right? And then, hey, he wanted to go to the East, so he's going to be probably bottom 6 with those guys. You think?
You think.
You think that's going to gum up a spot for like Capo Caco or Alexis Lafreniere bringing him in, or do you think it'll help them?
I'm hoping that it helps them, but because
it could be both.
We said this before. Lafreniere hasn't really taken that next step up as we said that before.
Right. But is he going to get the opportunity if you're bringing in all these veteran wingers that are, you know what I mean? Like how I'm saying that.
Yeah, but if I'm Wheeler, I'm thinking I'm slow. Like you're going to be playing that third line role, and
right?
Whatnot, so it allows that second line role for guys.
But the
like
thing
Lafreniere.
but they're not going to be on the second line, dude. Have you seen their roster? Like they're going to be third or fourth line.
Let me bring up
Daily Faceoff. Let's go and see how the Rangers are looking up front because I think they're pretty stacked up. I might be a little wrong about that, but if we look at our line combos, there's going to be, think about it, Panarin.
Beautiful studio,
Zibanejad.
Just
the internet out here is a little bit lacking just because, it's probably a kilometer away. We could have done a hotspot there, but
we could have.
Here we go. Okay, look at this. Kreider's Zibanejad. I don't know why VC's up there. Panarin, Trocheck, Barkley, Goodrow, Capo Caco. Look at Lafreniere, and then so you're looking at Wheeler would probably you could technically put him in the top 6 if you wanted to.
You could.
Goodrow and VC. Being up top there. Now, do they have any injuries? They probably do if you go down. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. But this isn't even updated because this shows Louis Domingue as the backup. But we just know Jonathan Quick actually signed as the backup to Igor Shesterkin, just 1 year. I thought maybe Quick would retire, win the cup, but maybe.
That's what I was thinking too. But you know what? He's an East Coast boy. He's from Connecticut, so
he said he was a Rangers fan. So that'd be like if you were end of your career, I'm going to play for Vancouver.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's one of those end of your career.
But do you think
lists.
Quick is going to be?
Can he play 25 games?
Right? Can Because that's a thing I'm like, I don't know about that. You better. Well, they still have, like, Louis Domingue is still on their team, right? So, like, then you have another guy that can...
Domingue signed with
he
Winnipeg.
signed somewhere else? Okay. The
I
face-off's just not
believe.
updated yet. Okay, well, they're going to need a third guy. And I'm sure they will, just to make sure, right? Because you always have to have that third guy. But... And then Nick Bonino, right? I mean, he's going to be, like, fourth-line center. So.
Yeah, fourth line there. Not making too much. Ottawa. Making a splash.
Well, really, they kind of did, yeah. I mean, that's really one signing, a lot of, like, younger guys, but you can talk about it.
Yeah, they get their goalie. They get their goalie in Korpisalo there. 5-year deal, $4 million. It's we're $20 million, so it's they get their guy. Puts a little pressure there, and
well, Matt said Sogard is their prospect, like their guy they're hoping is going to be their one for a long time. And they do have Anton Forsberg, who, like, I've always liked Anton Forsberg. I was talking about him at the trade deadline. He didn't go anywhere, but, you know, Korpisalo had wasn't that great with Columbus because they were pretty bad. But, you know, at the trade deadline going to the Kings, he played really well. So, but, man, that 5 years is to me, it's a little scary. You know, $4 million is not too much. But, you know, you're probably moving on from Forsberg, you know, whenever he goes up, if the Sogard guy works out. But you never know. You're always adding talent. So if this is what it took to get Korpisalo, that's fine. If it was my team, like, well, now knowing Bernier, I mean, I wish I would have went after Korpisalo. Or not Bernier, Reimer. Whatever.
Pick an X-Leaf.
Yeah, we're just taking them all. We had Jonathan Bernier at one point.
Did.
Oh, my God.
You did.
Curtis Joseph. We should just sign him. Fuck.
Just a bunch of minor league
yeah,
shit.
A bunch of minor stuff.
Philly didn't really do anything.
Ryan Poehling. Hey, fun fact about Ryan Poehling. Wasn't his first NHL game. He had 3 goals, and it was Bob Cole's last game, calling games. Yeah, I remember that. Now look at him.
Here you go.
So Pittsburgh, Matt Nieto was like the first signing of the day. 2 years, like under $1 million. Noel Acciari is a very underrated signing for the bottom 6 because he's a very good defensive player. And so 3 years, $2 million. Big signing here is Tristan Jarry went back to the Penguins. Now, I don't know about this. You get him some better health insurance because 5 years, $5.4 million a year. Woo! That sounds scary to me if I'm a Pens fan because, like, you got to get it done with this guy now. Because, you know, I mean, Sid and Gino and Letang aren't going to be there by the end of that contract.
And you better hope he's back to All-Star Jerry because bringing in Nedeljkovic as
well, they have DeSmith too, right? So
true,
Ned's probably going to be like the third goalie. You know, he'll probably play in Wilkes-Barre. And then Ryan Graves is an underrated signing too, but like 6 years, $4.5 million. It's one of these things where I'm looking at these defenseman signings. Some of them are getting a ton of money. So where I look at it, a guy like the Justin Holl thing, it's like everybody's getting this much money. It's crazy to me. So, I mean, that's what it's costing to get a defenseman nowadays. I mean, because maybe it's just a thin...
Apparently, and at least it's not NBA money they're getting.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
San Jose, just a couple little moves there. They bring in Mackenzie Blackwood.
They traded for his rights.
There you go. Kyle Burrows from Vancouver goes there. And then...
Red Wing.
Yeah, Giovanni Smith.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Carpenter.
Yeah. So not a whole lot for San Jose there. Really nothing for Seattle either. St. Louis, let's look at that. They didn't really do anything. They brought in Malcolm Subban, re-signed Mackenzie McEachran. Tampa Bay, Luke Glendening, 2 years, $800K. And then Connor Sheary, 3 years, $2 million. So he's won a couple cups with Pittsburgh. So, you know, you're bringing a guy in there. You can talk about Toronto. I'm just going to smile at the camera.
Buschy just had the best day until he found out about Justin Holl.
If you believe in karma, I got karma right up the ass.
Said the Leafs fans deserve what they get here for Ryan Reeves.
Oh, Ryan Reeves.
3 years, $1.3 million a year.
They didn't even want to put it on TSN because they're so embarrassed.
They're so embarrassed by it, right? It's Reeves. What does he add to the team? He adds he's physical. They've tried this before with guys like Simmons.
Yeah,
they've tried it with
like they had like Nick Foligno at one point. Yeah, they had some tough guys, but
so it's just another tough guy. Which it will help you in the regular season, but in the playoffs, it doesn't really do anything. Look how it's
like Matthews and Marner are still going to get hit.
Exactly. Reeves isn't going to be out there playing with them.
There's not going to be this fear. right?
No, there's no fear out there for him. Like, yeah, you see, it's okay. Okay, it's a little tough. It's a tough guy, but okay, they're a tough guy.
But he doesn't bring anything else to the table.
No, he can't score.
Offense, defense, like nothing, right? I mean, he's not a penalty killer, probably nothing. He's just going to sit on the fourth line as a 36-year-old.
And he's going to be there till he's 39.
And that was the only thing the Leafs did today, other than lose half their roster.
That's true.
And I went through that, and I got depressed again because I was like, they lost O'Reilly, they lost Bunting, they lost who was the other one that Luke Shen, and then I said Justin Hall, and I got depressed.
And then I said,
I was like, damn
guy
it.
was crying into his French fries.
God. So now, I mean, let's move on. I want to hear what you think about Vancouver. That's your team. So
Vancouver, we have no defense. I think we have 3 defensemen signed right now. Well, before today,
Hughes, Myers, Hronik.
Yeah,
NHL defenseman.
NHL defenseman.
Yeah.
So we needed to go out and get some defensemen. We do that with Ian Cole. It's a 1-year deal. It's a left-handed shot there for $3 million. So I'm not too. I like that they're not committing to these older players. So it is like a stopgap maybe. Mm-hmm. Teddy Bluger comes in here.
He's a centerman.
Yeah, can play down the line here. Let's see where he would fit in.
He's probably going to be fourth line.
Third, fourth line there. I'm not even going to bother because
I think he's a fourth liner. He technically won the cup with Vegas, but they were so deep he was a scratch actually.
The one signing I really like here is Carson Soucy, 28 years old. Yeah, from Seattle there. Mm-hmm. Again, another shot, left-hand shot, defenseman. Like on another team, probably a bottom 3 pair, but in Vancouver, you're going to have the opportunity right now to play that second D pair.
Yeah, well, he'll be right behind Hughes.
Exactly.
Right? And I mean, you'll have Hughes. I mean, it depends what they do with Myers. You'll have Soucy with Hronik, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got, like I said, who's the other guy that they... Yeah, so
Matt Irwin.
And then Matt Irwin's a two-way. So
it can always bring him up. And then they just picked up a Zach Slachenko there, a goaltending...
Probably an AHL guy.
AHLer there.
Not a huge, I don't know who that is. Okay, so I mean, is that enough for...
no. No, it's enough to make a roster. But
that was amazing.
But competitive.
I mean,
like we're gonna have guys out there skating, but are we a playoff team? Fuck no.
Well, what I can say is they're wearing the Canucks jerseys.
Exactly,
and that's all I know.
That's pretty much.
They're gonna have 6 defensemen.
Yeah, we're gonna have 6 defensemen
wearing Canucks jerseys.
And yeah,
skates on.
That's the game hockey.
So when are you going to sign with the Canucks decor?
Fuck, I might as well
You should give him a call.
I should be like, yo, just give me $100,000 and I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in for sure. So I mean, that's
our team is a clusterfuck, and
it's been for a while.
Yeah, maybe one of these videos I will do something. I will do my own little breakdown and whatnot, just because. What do I say other than it's a clusterfuck?
I mean, it is.
No shit, Sherlock.
Okay. I mean, Vegas, they really didn't do a whole lot other than they brought back Aiden Hill. They re-signed Ivan Barbashev. Like, those are the 2 big things.
Barbashev!
That the Knights did. They didn't really sign anybody today, but, I mean, and then Washington really only made one big move there.
They got Patches.
Max Pacioretty, who's, now I feel bad for him because he's a very good player, goal scorer, but just can't stay healthy, keeps his hips and all this stuff. So 1 year and $2 million is maybe a good swing for
Louis
the Capitals there.
The Rangers.
Is he? Yeah.
I was thinking this
Laurent
side.
Brossoit.
That's what I was thinking.
He went back. He was with the Jets before.
Yeah, and that's who I was thinking.
Is that who they picked in the expansion draft? No, I'm an idiot. No, they didn't. Was it from Winnipeg? Vegas. That was Vegas has been 6 years now. I don't even know. Who did they take from Winnipeg? I'm actually really interested to know because they only have 5 guys left. They moved on from Riley Smith, right?
Okay, no, fuck it. We're not doing it that way. We're just going.
There you go. The old
there
Wikipedia.
We go.
That'll tell you exactly what you need to know. Forwards. Where's Winnipeg?
Let's go to the Western Conference.
Oh, this is just who was available. Who did they? Oh, does it show who they actually picked though? Oh, there it is.
Draft results.
Winnipeg Jets. Chris Thorburn. Really? Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that. But Brossoit, I thought maybe. But maybe it was a long time ago. They just signed him or something, made a trade. But that's every team, right?
That's that's every team.
Yeah, nice. Well, I mean, one thing we can do is if you go to Cap Friendly, we can look up who's left, because that's something that's kind of like interesting to see. There's a lot of like, I don't want to say big fish, but there's a lot of players out there, bigger names, right? Like here where you go signings, but if you go, Bowen Byram signed. What did he sign for? 2 years, 7.7. What? They bridged him. Wow. Lars Eller, Pittsburgh. That's something we didn't really see there. So, yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, we got most of them. There's Miles Wood. So, Miles Wood did 6 years, 2.5 a year. Wow. Dude, that's a great deal. 6 years, 2.5?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's nothing. You know what? That's a good deal. I thought he was going to make a lot more than that, but you hear, 6 years, you hear, like, you probably think a big one. So, free agents at top left.
There we go. Top left, free agents. Who's still available?
So some of these might be restricted, maybe even like sort by, I think if you go up a bit, keep going.
We're going up, people.
Expiry status, UFA, and then just go down and hit the search right there on the left. Update results.
See, this is the things we do. Fuck it, we do it live.
Do it live. It's a podcast. It's okay. So, so here's some bigger names. And, I mean, are they what they were before? No, but, like, Kane and Taves are still out there. Vladimir Tarasenko's still out there.
Matt Dumba.
John Klingberg.
Josh Bailey. Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah, Bertuzzi's probably number one on the list right now. How about a guy like Shane Gostisbehere? I talked about him on the Red Wings report of, like, maybe that's someone the Wings could go after. Right-hand defenseman, 41 points last year. How about Thomas Tatar? He's 20-goal scorer, 50 points, and he's actually turned himself into a very, very good defensive forward, right? Like, he's still out there. Clefbaum, he's probably done.
JT Compher?
Yeah, JT Compher is another one that I thought maybe the Wings, right? Pius Suter, I've talked about him, that he's a very good defensive forward, too.
Max Domi's out there.
Alex Kerfoot, Jonas Donskoy, Jake Gardner, Dumoulin.
Zach Cassian.
Zach Cassian's there. Max Domi, that's a big one. He's one of the top centers that are out there other than Compher.
And there's still, Dallas apparently was still talking with him, but who knows now after they get Duchesne, right?
Right. And then obviously like Patrice Bergeron, would only go back to Boston. Max Comtois, Ethan Bear. There's still a bunch of names out there that are going to have to go somewhere. Phil Kessel's still out there.
Kessel.
Hathaway and Watson, both, third, fourth line guys. Like Evan Rodriguez, like underrated. There's still a lot of players out there, and that's just page one. Like, these guys are all going to probably end up playing somewhere.
Right? Oh, exactly, exactly. It's day one. It doesn't mean everyone's going to get signed on day one, and obviously we don't know the ins and outs on the negotiations. And
okay, so like of that list
of who's available,
guy, like who would you? Now I know that they probably don't have a ton of cap space.
Yeah, we got no.
But just like names and guys that maybe could fit, possibly. You know what I mean with the Canucks. Like, is there anybody that maybe sticks out to you where you're like, oh, you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing.
I thought they were going to bring back Ethan Bear.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't even qualify.
Didn't even qualify him. I thought.
I totally forgot he was on Vancouver.
Oh, well, now you remember.
I thought he was Edmonton. Wait, how did he get
Edmonton? Then he went to Carolina after Edmonton, and then
really
Vancouver.
Interesting.
The more you know.
I didn't know that, but the more you know. Yeah. I mean, I look at it. Yeah, I look at it as a
the Red Wings. Who would you want to bring in?
Well, I mean, the guys that I've already said. I mean, JT Compher. I like him as a player. I mean, 17 goals, 52 points. That's pretty damn good. To maybe throw him on the second line. I like him. Like I said, a guy like Gostisbehere, we need some offense. Damn it, But the other thing too is I always talk about trades and all the craziness that could happen. And it's like, I know for a fact that this stuff just doesn't happen. We keep hearing things about DeBrincat and, Connor Hellebuck and Travis Konechny, and nothing has happened. And, will it happen? I mean, probably not, No. These prices for players, free agent, we were just talking about the difference between defense and offense. There's a clear separation. The defensemen are getting paid. The forwards, not so much.
No, the forwards aren't making as much as the defensemen.
Where if you look at a guy like Carson Soucy or Scott Mayfield versus a guy like Gus Nyquist,
Yes.
Defensemen are going to get paid a little more.
So he's making 3.25.
Yeah, and that's not bad. But like no one, and what we said is no one has been getting those 7-year contracts other than the Islanders apparently. But like, and no one's getting really high term either.
No.
And I think we're getting to the point now in the league where it's so different, where like you're paying the young guys, where it used to be you're paying the old guys to come in, but now it's like, oh, they're 22 years old and restricted. I'm going to give them the 8-year deal now, like Ottawa did with Tim Stützle, and like what Detroit should do with Seider and Raymond. Like they should give him the 8-year deal because, like, why not?
Especially
lock him up because if the cap's going to go up like crazy, do it now.
Get it now where you can get him at a lower price.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Seider probably first and Raymond in the next week or two sign those deals.
It's something, that could just...
It's what you should do if you think that this guy is a stud, and let's go get him. But I don't know if we're going to see any like big moves like that. I mean, obviously with restricted free agents, the whole DeBrincat thing, the longer that goes, the less leverage Ottawa really has.
Yeah,
and the fact that they weren't letting him really like negotiate with any other team kind of really puts a hair in the soup. Like if I'm a team that wants him, like, well, what is he looking for? Well, we don't know. It's like, okay, well now you're asking for the world, but I don't know if I'm okay with giving him the contract after. So like that has to be a part of it. So you're playing hardball for no reason. So, like, it'll be interesting to see, what happens the next few days. I'm sure if anything Red Wings related happens, I'll pop in here and let people know what I think.
On the Red Wings Report.
On the Red Wings Report by Healthy Scratch. But, like, I would say if there's any other things I want to talk about, let's look at the old trusty list here.
Yeah, we got the list
just
here.
In case.
Just because, you know what? It is free agency, and we just ran through that quickly. Let's just double check if there's anything else.
Hall of Fame is a joke.
The NHL Hall of Fame or the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Why are you saying that?
How the hell does Lundqvist and Tom Barrasso and who's the other goalie that got in? I know Pierre Turgeon got in, and there was another goalie that got in too. It was Lundqvist. I can't remember. It was 3 goalies and Pierre Turgeon.
I'm looking it up right now.
All I can say
you
is
continue your thoughts.
Tom Barrasso does not have Hall of Fame numbers.
Mike Vernon.
Okay, yeah. And then and you can argue that Henrik Lundqvist is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. You can argue that. Like he won like 1 Vezina, and then you look at Barrasso too. He won like the Calder over Yzerman, weirdly. But some of the players that got left out. I mean, it was unbelievable. Look at the eligible players.
Here.
Alex McGillney hasn't got in yet. Like, how the hell is he not in yet?
Ron Hainsey.
Here, just keep going down. I'm going to show you a few that... These are all the ones that are... Okay, here we go. Okay, Rod Brindamore, Patrick Iliash, Theo Fleury, Bill Guerin. Who's another one? I mean, Vinny LeCavalier doesn't. I don't think he really has the stats for it, but McGillney does.
Yeah, McGillney. I don't know why McGillney's not in the Hall of Fame.
Who's the other ones that I was looking at there? Like, wow, how the hell are these guys?
Because I've never heard Rick Middleton, but look at
he had a point per game, right? Jeremy Roenick. Keep going. Keith Kachuk, Rick Tocchet. I mean, Turgeon got in, and he has a ton of points, right? But Doug Wade. I mean, Zetterberg is in there too, and the goalies like. Barrasso gets in. His career goals against average was 3 point something. Like that, Cujo. You had Ollie Kolzig. I mean, hell, even Osgood. And then we've always talked about Chris Osgood.
Osgood's just underrated.
He should have got in before a few of those guys, I think. Right?
He's underrated.
Yeah. So, and those are all the kind of the international guys. I honestly thought that it was a little bit of a joke. Okay, and I think it is. I think just in general, even I know you're a Canucks fan, but the Sedins. First ballot.
Not a first ballot.
They weren't, second ballot? They were pretty damn, right away. I think it's one of these things where it's almost like these writers, they forget what these guys did for the game or, how good they really were. It was a different era, right?
Right.
First ballot.
Oh, were they first ballot?
Yeah, there you go. Look.
Yeah, first ballot.
Yeah. So I don't think they're first ballot Hall of Famers, but they should be
Hall of Famers, yes, first ballot.
Yeah, I don't know about first ballot. There's other guys that probably could get in, but the thing that's weird is they were talking about Alex McGillney, and it was almost like, well, I think it's because, the Russian influence, and, we don't want to be associated with it. Hey, how about you induct a guy in Alex McGillney that actually fled the goddamn country and risked his life to come over here? I don't know. How about that? What are we doing here?
It makes sense to me.
He fled, right? And speaking of writers and voting, how about the Hart voting? Now, again, the NHL awards are a joke too. But you heard about Connor McDavid, the Hart Trophy. He was one vote short of having a unanimous first place. Every single person voted him first place. He's done that before. It would have been a second time. And there was one writer from Pittsburgh that didn't have him first place, okay? He had David Pastrnak first place. Okay. I mean, he had a good season too. He had 50-something goals, right? But, okay, where did you think he had McDavid in his ballot? Would be probably number 2, right?
Yeah, you would assume so.
He had him number 5. The guy had 150-something points. What are you smoking?
Okay, who else did he have above him then?
Jason Robertson.
No.
There was a few where I was like, what the hell is happening here? What do you mean 5? Are you doing this as I just want attention? Because that's what it seems like to me.
That just seems like, you want to make a name for yourself over the game.
Yeah. I don't like that at all. So I thought the Hall of Fame was a little bit of a joke there too. Now with the draft, this was an interesting thing too. Nashville and Tampa Bay. It was interesting because obviously there was a couple trades where picks got moved around, but before the draft started, I just wanted to tell you there's something really interesting. Nashville had 13 draft picks before Tampa had their first pick.
Wow!
In the 6th round, Tampa had a 2 6th and a 7th, or 6th and 2 7ths. Nashville had 13 picks.
13
before Tampa made their first one. I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
And this is something I've talked about a few times on the Red Wings Report. And did I send you the mock draft or the rankings from Jay Fresh?
I'm not sure if you did. I don't think you did.
So Jay Fresh is the one that I use, or that we use, for advanced stats. Whenever you see, the wins above replacement and, things like that, and we look at their even strength offense, we can compare, right? So Jay Fresh, I like his stuff. I actually pay into his Patreon. That's how I get all that info. And one thing that was really interesting was he puts out this final draft ranking. I'm like, oh, okay, and it's a few days before the draft.
You did send me this, yes.
And I sent this, and maybe I'll put it on the screen here.
I did have a good laugh with it.
So he goes and he's like, all right, Connor Bedard number 1, Leo Carlsson 2, which he was trolling. He got it right. Reinbacher 3, Fantilli 4, Dalibor Dvorsky 5. Okay. Calum Ritchie 6. I'm like, oh, okay. On a lot of the lists I've seen, he's a little lower. Axel Sandin Pellikka, who we know went to Detroit at 17. Yuri Churak, which I'm not even sure if that's a real guy. Quentin Musty went a little later. Nate Danielson went to the Wings, but he's at 11. Darcy Bingley. I don't think he exists. So you see what's happening. This guy's trolling the shit out of everybody. He's messing up the thing. He had Matvei Michkov going 14th to Pittsburgh. He's a Penguins fan, right? And everyone's on Twitter this guy's always all his credibility is shot. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Just bullshit. This rank the worst ranking I've ever seen. And it's this guy's just egging him on. Why? And I'm this is a zinger level troll. This is amazing. But, so you go down the list, right? There's a few where I'm I don't think Kadion Kwiatkowski's a guy. Kirpi Otsasa, Larny Barnes, Otto Fiskramantiker. not a shot, right? Gabe Perreault is real, whatever. We get down to here where it says Rudolph's nose. We've got Plankton Chum Bucket, 41 to Detroit, Theodore Tugboat.
Yep, Theodore Tugboat. You're just going to bring that guy in.
One of my favorite, Galador Bluetooth. And then the last one is Fagorn Leg Dash Horn.
And that's when I saw it first. And I'm like, Calgary would have a guy with the name. Bleep.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? It's unbelievable. So I just thought this was a perfect example of how I've said that fans don't know anything about prospects, because everybody that was this is a bullshit rank. It's if you just read a little bit, you'd realize this was satire. And he's making the point that no one knows anything, and let alone him. Even with the advanced stats and all that stuff, you'd never know, right? So I thought that was kind of a fun
little
way to maybe wrap this one up, is look at that fun little like ranking mock draft thing.
Who would you choose at 47 or
Plank
whatever?
or Chum Bucket would be my pick, 100%.
I don't know. No one's getting by Theodore Tugboat.
Theo Tugboat is a really good. He's going to keep that
Double
team
T's
afloat.
there is-
He's going to keep them afloat for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Until next time, it's the Buschy and Bobo Show. Look for us on YouTube. Obviously, you're watching us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TikTok, all the places you can find us. We're on Twitter too. Puda McBubbles, Buschy R, what is it?
Buschy RWR.
RWR, new handle. Check it out.
He's just gotten in it.
I know.
Get used to it.
But yeah, we're going to just see. Hopefully there's some more signings today, tomorrow, the next day. There will be.
There will be.
And we'll cover any that we really think are useful, and we'll go from there.
Back to some games and stuff like that during the off season.
Yeah, I think we're going to just dick around a little bit in the off season and do some sporkles and some fun. Actually, some of the drafts too. You know, we did our. We didn't even post the one. We did like was it Sweden draft, or there's like a nationalities draft.
We did we
have some fun things we can do. Just because we did the original 6 one, and that was a lot of fun to do.
That was fun.
Maybe we can edit it down into like a smaller thing, but I think it'd be fun to do that. So
yeah.
I think we will in the summertime. There's nothing really else going on, right? So yeah.
No.
Till next time, it's the Buschy and Bobo Show. Signing off. Take care.
Later days.